All right. Morning from the Sierra Nevadas. Today's December the 11th, 2023. It's 9:17 out here in the what I believe I'm in the West Coast, miles away. I think it's away. Well, actually, a couple of days ago, I was feeling really headachy and I'm not sneezing or nothing. Was just coughing, and actually, most of it is gone today. So, really taking care of my health. So, make sure that if you feel sick, you start taking care of it immediately. And I drink a lot of water and have a lot of tea. And an old remedy my grandmother used to do was get bay leaves. I know you're gonna have to listen to this one. You get bay leaves and you boil them and you drink that. You can put honey in it because honey, all that is a detoxifier, detoxifying your insides. So also there's a lot of other things. Cloves, CLOVE. You know the cloves that you use to spice your food up. I buy the whole cloves and I also boil that, and then I'll have that as a tea as well. And then green tea is always good. I love tea. Any kind of tea that's got that detoxifying effect. And I can see it in the color of my skin. I'm back to my normal color of skin because you can tell when I can tell when I'm not feeling good. I can feel it. And you can always notice it in your skin color. If you notice a slight change in your skin tone and you're not feeling good, you need to take care of it right away. A lot of soup. I make homemade chicken soup. Here's another thing my grandmother used to do. If any of us ever got sick, she would go to the grocery store and buy a lot of onions, and she would take them, of course, peel them and chop them up, and then place it in just some water. Boil it, boil it, boil it, boil it, boil it to that onion is nearly just disappears into the soup. Because onion always has a nice little sweet flavor in it, especially if you get white or yellow onions. They have a nice sweet taste. So you know how beautiful the aroma of onions smell anyway when you're frying them or stir frying them or sautéing them. They've got a beautiful smell. And then I once I make that onion heavy condensed broth soup, like about 10, 15 onions, as much as you can make, even save it, put it in a plastic container or those frozen bags. And once it's cooled down and seal it up tight, you have your remedy whenever you're sick. And it's good for your throat. It's good to alleviate all that comes into your lungs, the bronchial, because there's a difference in your bronchial easiness in my bronchial. My bronchial is up here. Your lungs are here, and your lungs is what keep you breathing. But a lot of that phlegm can be in your bronchial, and you wouldn't even know it for a long, long time until all of a sudden, boom, you start feeling feverish, or you feel headachy, or you feel, oh, you just feel this unfeeling, you just don't feel right. So I'm so glad that I took care of it. I started Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I kept being busy. I'm not the type of person that my daughter was saying, "Mom, lay down, go to sleep, relax." I just can't. I don't know why. As a mother, you got to do things, and all my children are grown and gone. They're old. I'm old. I'm 70 years old. I'm heading to 71. So, they're gone. They left the nest. I'm all by myself now. And I have to keep busy. And as a mother, and a grandmother, you constantly in your mind you're saying, I gotta keep busy. So since all the children have left the nest, I have to keep myself busy. I no longer work, obviously. I'm retired. I have lots of hobbies I love to do: sewing, cooking, baking. I have all kinds of different sewing machines that do different things. I have a baby locking pardon me, embellisher that has 12 needles. And it's not a sewing machine. I don't know why I said sewing machine. It's an embellisher. It's a felting embellisher. It's an automatic machine that felts and embellishes. Then I have my baby lock, and then I have my Bernina that I just gave myself for a Christmas present. And then I have my 1900-year-old. It's a 124-year-old sewing machine. It's a threadle sewing machine. It has no electricity, nothing. And that's the one I use if ever the electricity goes out of here. I have my um, what they call lanterns and the oil that you use, lantern oil that you use. So I'm prepared. I even have a little fireplace. So if anything happens, I'm ready for anything. So, and then I have my brother sewing machine, and then I have a FOF machine, and then I have a serger. But all these sewing machines and felting machines, they all do different things. You're never going to find that right machine unless you purchase it. Because a sewing machine, unless you buy an industrial sewing machine that costs you $15,000 that has all the bells and whistles, mines are basic and they cost basic prices. So if I was to add all that up, it would be an expensive. I would have expensive sewing machine. And then they're all put away in my storage unit. So when I'm not using them, I have a storage unit that have shelves unit, and I place all my sewing machines, and I even have them labeled. This does that. This does that. I bought it this time. This is what it does. So I keep everything in my home very, very organized as much as possible, because once you get organized, it's so much easier to find than having it all over the place. Now everybody's different, but that's me. That's how I handle my place. So what I'm doing today was it's Sunday morning. I was showing everybody live how to do a double weave cloth. And just when it was over, just when it was just about to be over, I was at the last stretch of it. Instead of hitting end, I don't know what I hit on the screen, but it literally, after all that time, I lost the whole video. But at least one person was watching, which made me feel good. That if I can reach one person, you know how they always say, if you can reach one person, that one person could be the word of mouth that can take it anywhere else. You know what? I just seen somebody and it was interesting, and that means that they learned something, because that's what I do when I want to learn something. I have been so lucky. Well, we have been so lucky. All of us, any of us who's watching YouTube, has actually gained a lot of knowledge. You can fix a car. You can figure out how to fix a light fixture, how to put a fan up, how to fix just about anything, even a car. I actually, when I had a car, I had a Buick Century, a year 2001, I believe, or 2000, and it had a little thing coming up. So I went on YouTube and I typed, "This is going on," and boom, it was just a simple fuse. And I took it to a mechanic, and he wanted to charge me a lot of money to fix it. And all it was the fuse box, because it's a new car, and the new cars are all computerized. The fuse is what turns on whatever it needed to be turned on. So I fixed it, and my car ran for a good 10 years. But I bought it used, and then I donated it because I wasn't in the year 2000, I believe, to 12. I started losing my eyesight. I got glaucoma in both eyes, cataracts in both eyes, and I just let it go. I wasn't taking care of it. I was told when I had my yearly exam, "You're getting cataracts in this eye, or you have it in this eye, and you need to take care of it. And you, it looks like you're getting some kind of cataract and glaucoma in this eye. You better take care of it." I didn't do nothing for 3 years. I just, from 2010, I mean, I was diagnosed, and for 2000. one, two. COVID came out, so a lot of things weren't being done. Places were closed, blah, blah. You know what the whole routine was with the COVID happened. So I didn't take care of it. I just let it go. And then all of a sudden I noticed I can't see out of my glasses because I had a prescription. I've been wearing glasses since I was 4. And then I noticed that, I've been wearing glasses since I was 4. So I noticed that in a matter of, like I said, a year, I noticed my eyesight, I couldn't read with my bifocals and I had prisms. Prisms, I think a lot of you, and I'm not farsightedness. And I was like, something is really wrong. So I called a doctor that diagnosed me like 3 years ago. I said, you know what, doc? And he goes, yeah, come on in. I came in. They scheduled an emergency eye, surgery. I had 2 separate surgeries. Then the third one was to insert. I purchased, the insurance company didn't pay for this. He told me, we can get you these lenses that we insert your eye. It's almost like having a pair of glasses or contacts set in your eyes. So all I needed was a pair of reading glasses. So they drained my eyes, as you know, that's what glaucoma is, and cataracts. They cleaned my lenses, and then I had to heal all that first, and then for the other surgery I had to heal, and then for the third surgery I had to heal because you have to have your eyes in pretty good before they do that lens. They wanted to do it all at once, but because the insurance I had, they wanted to, insurance companies have to authorize certain things. So I finally had paid for the each eye, and again I had to. I'm still. What do they say? It takes a year, sometimes a year, maybe 2, for your eyes to adjust to everything. But I am happy to say I haven't lost my eyesight. I can see. I couldn't even see my clock from here to there. That's how bad my eyesight was. I couldn't see it, period. It was just like a blur, bloop, can't see it. I had to literally walk all the way to the clock and get right in front of it before I could even see what time it is. So now I can go like this and I know it's 9:37 out here. And I was so blessed. I'm like, ugh. I have a lazy eye in my left eye, and they want to surgery that. That is something that is very, very difficult. The eye doctor told me it's at least an 8-hour surgery. So that's going to be like an overnight stay and all that. And I haven't done it yet because I've heard that it may or may not work. And in my self consciousness, I'm already thinking maybe it won't work because I was born this way. So I have to close my eyes in order for my eye to adjust. And a lot of times people look at me like, something wrong with her? I'm like, no, it's just my eye. I have a lazy eye and it wants to go that way. And it's been like that since I was a kid, since I was born anyway. So now that I can see, and well, anyway, that's how come I got rid of my car before I should have waited. If I would have had the surgery the way the doctor told me to, I would be driving. So next year, I'm going to take my driving test. I'm going to schedule an appointment just to take the driving test. Not the driving test. Yeah, the driving test. You know how you have to take the DMV test. And once I get that, I'm just going to rent a car. Just rent it for whenever, many days I need it. And then I don't want to spend a lot of money on insurance every month because I'm the type of person that doesn't drive very far anyway. I just do my little errands. If I have to see the doctor, just get little shopping done, and then I get home. That's how I am. That's how we get when we're at this age. But what I'm doing today, I started actually last week, Friday. I slaved my reed, I got my warp done, and I'm creating a double cloth blanket. So now that I've given you a little bit about myself, my name is Joanne. I've been on YouTube for I don't know how many years. I lost track. I know it's been over probably 14 years, maybe a little longer, because when YouTube first came out, um, I think I was still working, and I had a password, and then I got, whatever happened, I can't remember. I lost my password, and I couldn't remember it no matter how hard I tried. So I had to create a new um, YouTube channel. So somewhere out there's my YouTube channel, and I don't remember the password. But let's get started. Was it a little over 7 or 8 years? I had bought a herring, Harrington design, tall, just a frame. It's a frame. It's a really tall frame, and that's how I learned how to do weaving. Actually, we learned how to do weaving on those little tiny metal um, little pot holders when we were a kid. My dad used to get the um, spools of thread and put some nails in it, and he taught me how to put the thread back and forth, and the thread come out of the thread spool. And I always have been interested in weaving. And you know how you get the paper when you're a kid and you weave the construction paper and you make a weave. I was always fascinated by that. But as you get older, you go to work and you're not thinking about hobbies. You're thinking about, I have to go to work. I have to take care of myself and my household family. If you had, like me, a household family, like most of us do. So I retired uh, at the age of 62, what most people did. But I think a little earlier than that because of my health. I was permanently, I just couldn't work anymore. So what happened then is I started getting into sewing. I also have a 24 punch knitting machine. I forgot to let you know that, which really is fun because I no longer knit the way you do with the two needles, and I no longer crochet. It's too much for me. So I was on YouTube, and I wanted to learn how to do certain um, crocheting, and I seen that lady with a machine. I said, "Oh, my mom wanted one of those before she passed away. When they came out, when the brother came out with the sewing knitting machines many years ago, the Sears was selling them. But at that time, they were super expensive. You could have bought a car. That's how expensive they were. So my mom never bought one, but she always wanted one. And when I seen that machine, it literally brought me back to Sears. And I said, "Oh, I remember Sears when they were selling it." My mom was fascinated by the knitting machine. My mom died very young. She died a little before she was 61 or 62. So when I seen it on YouTube, I said, "Oh," I go, "Oh, that reminds me of the knitting machine my mom want." So I got on eBay and I found one at $100. I think it was 150 with the taxes and everything, and it works beautifully. I cleaned it. It had to have been in storage, and it's very old, but it works beautifully. And I've made a lot of sweaters, a lot of hats, a lot of mittens, a lot of socks. Um, you name it, I made it, even the blankets. So that's something else I'm planning on doing. I don't know if I have a YouTube video on that. I may have a YouTube video on how to create socks. But what I've just watched not too long ago was a lady making gloves with, all the little fingers. And I'm like, wow, that is fascinating. So I'm learning how to do that by watching. Again, here we go with YouTube, how they have this wonderful platform for us to study and learn and watch movies. And there are, you could see the news, you could be up to date with just about everything on the YouTube, which I'm super thankful for because you know things are always changing and you want to keep up to date. And you may turn on the TV nowadays, there's no more antenna TV. I mean, you could buy a little box, but you're not going to get very many channels. You have to literally purchase to watch live TV. But all in all, I know I spoke a lot, but now I want to introduce you to my Ashford table loom. It's an Ashford table loom and it came all the way from Australia. It's 24 inches, sort of as a bait. That's about as wide as I ever make anything, but yet I can go up to 26 inches. But then it's really tight, and I don't want it that tight. I like to have that extra little room because if you're making a double weave cloth, 24 and 24 is 48 inches. That is pretty big. That is a pretty big cloth. And it took me a long, 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 long time. I'm still learning. I purchased a book, the Ann Dixon Weaving Directory, that has over 600 patterns. And I barely just touched the surface with and only learned maybe 15, something around there. I can memorize those patterns. And without opening the book, there's no other way I can remember them. And the one that I really fell in love with is the double weave cloth, which is hard for some people. And it was hard for me at first. And I couldn't get the concept, even though I seen maybe 10, 20 videos of people doing it and they're going so fast. You can slow it down, but still, if you don't know what the pattern looks like, and you don't know what's going on unless you purchase to go to an online school, or you purchase some type of, I don't even know if they have CDs anymore, but unless you purchase and you go to a weaving course, or you're doing it that way and having hands-on experience, then that's different. But I've actually have tried looking. There's certain people that show you, but unless you know how to read a pattern, it is difficult to get the concept of how do I do this. And it really, after once I learned, I was like, is that all there was to it? Why did that person make it seem so complicated? The book made it so complicated. I'm more of a hands-on learner. If there's pictures, I can read a picture really good. I may not understand all the wording like SETI and floating and salvages and count this and count that. And, you know, I know how to count. I know what a yardstick is. I know how to read a measuring tape measure. I know how long something should be, you know. But when it gets to where they're telling you, oh, you have to do this and you have to do that, and you're like, you feel like you have to be Einstein at that particular, you're like, wait a minute here. So I set off doing that, and I just kept doing tabby and two twill, and just really basic patterns. And I got like, you know what? I better get that book out and just look at the picture. And that's how I got how that I not the idea, but that's how I got the feel for it. I tackled it. I didn't quite understand what they were saying. You have to do this and you have to do that, and they show you pictures of the weave going like this, and I'm like, I already know that you go under and over and under and over, or you could pick up a stick and you could pick up X amount of yarn threads to get to where you need. So I just did it on my own. I just kept playing with them with a little piece of material. I took out a certain amount of yardage, and I said, you know what? I had bought, you have to buy a lot of things when you're going to have a table loom or a floor loom. There are a lot of components that you need if you're going to create something. It makes it a lot easier too. So I've already have created, let's see, 23 inches in length for me is a perfect size for a tablecloth, or what they call tea towels, but we call them dish towels. Um, there's dish towels, and then there's kitchen towels, and then there's tea towels. To me, it's a towel. I mean, it dries my dishes. I have one that wipes the counter, And I don't give them specific names. I go, oh, give me that rag. I'm not that, specific. I'm very unorthodox. So what I did was I just get a towel that I had, a kitchen towel that I have, and then I measure it. And I know if I, you know, measure this, it's 23 inches in length, and it's uh, around 15 inches in width. I know that if I add all that up, like say 10 times whatever it is you're doing, you're going to get X amount of yards or measurement. And if you do the width, you know how much you're going to need. So what I do, that's how I do that. I say, well, my towels are going to be 23 inches in length. I need an inch on each extra because I'm going to do a quarter of an inch turn and quarter of an inch to create a hem. So I'm going to lose an inch. So add that extra inch and that's going to give you what you need. So right now I have already created 46 inches plus additional 10. So that's 50 inches that I have created on my double weave cloth right here. Let me turn my camera around. Actually, it's not my camera. It's actually my laptop. My real camera, my camcorder that I had for like 10 years, it went kaput. I don't know what happened to it, but it's gone. It's no longer working. So I got rid of it. Okay, I'm going to try to get a good view. And this is the Ashford table loom. I'm going to pull it out so you can see it. I love that it's so portable. This is a portable table loom. If I lift it up, it comes off of the stand. So the bottom threadles is a kit that I got from the Woolery. I'm not getting sponsored by none of these companies, by the way. I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting any compensation or anything like that. And this table loom had the levers up here. You see these where the holes are? That's where the tassels went, and then the levers went, and that's how you would lower it. The levers would be substituted for the threadles. Well, for me, because I have severe rheumatoid arthritis on my shoulders, my elbows, my wrists, I have tendonitis, and I have arthritis in my hands. And the doctor said that on my knuckles, because there used to be some skinny hands, and now they're very, very, very thick. And they're constantly, they don't straighten up anymore. They're always like, I guess we would say it's like this all the time. So this keeps me from getting stiff. I constantly am moving my joints, and I need to. Otherwise, I will end up in a bed. I don't want that. I also have multiple sclerosis. I've been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. So my legs get very weak. I have lazy leg. I don't know if that's what, drop leg, drop foot. I was born with scoliosis in my back. So my back is twisted. My bones go this way, and my neck is constantly like turned. I don't know if you can see my face, but I'm constantly hunching over. I don't like it, but that's just the way it is. I have a huge lump in my back, but hey, I don't let that stop me. I was born that way. So was born with scoliosis, and my lumbar spine is very, very weak. All my L's are pretty much damaged. They wanted to surgery many, many, many times. They wanted to straighten out my back and pull my scoliosis. And I'm 5'3". The doctor said if I was to pull all that out in your bones and put all this, metal pieces, you would be about 5'6". And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do all that. I couldn't see myself I've seen a lot of people have those surgeries. I know at least 15 people who've had those. Not that I'm saying it's not going to help. I've also seen actors that miraculously recuperate, but at but they're young. They're like very very young. I'm already almost 71 years old, and it takes me a long time to heal anything. So being a pre-diabetic, I have to be twice as careful of what I do. That's why I said I really took a long time to make that decision to have that surgery in my eyes. That was one of the major surgeries I had besides a carpal tunnel syndrome surgery. That was from here, and then the surgery all the way up to my elbow. Oh, I had several surgeries, but that's something totally different. But I can't see myself getting surgery in my back. I've already have customized myself to live the way I live and take care of myself. I actually worked all my life. You know, I didn't have to. I didn't have to go to work. I was told you don't have to. You could stay home all the time and collect this and this and that. And I'm like, you know what? I love working in the bank. I love being the manager of a bank. I love working as a tax professional. I love being an escrow. That's what I did. I love it. I just love numbers. And I did that till I retired. My last job I had that I stayed with 10 years because I couldn't go to the bank and work certain things anymore. I worked at the banking industry and business industry for 25 years. And then the next 10 years was being a tax professional. So I did what I needed to do to take care of me. And I didn't have to do anything to collect anything. Like a lot of people were saying, you could be home and sitting home. And I'm like, I'm so happy getting up and going to work and driving to work. And no matter what, I'm a go getter. I want to do something. So now you know a little bit about my physical self and getting into those hobbies and having a hobby has totally helped me to keep myself from making myself any more sicker or going spiraling down and being, you know what, I have this, I have that. That literally can make you more sicker. I'm going to be honest with you. It's happened to me when I was diagnosed with MS. I literally spiraled from being a happy person, and then I said, "Oh, I have this and I have that. I may die. I may die." And I started worrying about those things, and I started getting fear, and I started really spiraling down. I had a mini stroke, a tiny stroke, like a heart attack. So this side of my face is permanently like doesn't. It's like just permanently. I don't know how can I say it. Like a numb. It's permanently um, sags because of that. So I slur a lot. I'm like trying to get my words out, but because of the mini stroke I had, it literally has just this is why you see that huge crease. But all in all, I find myself so happy and so blessed to be alive. And I've had a heart attack. Um, After my daughter was born, I had a severe heart attack. I have a hole in my heart. I have what they call a murmur, and I have severe asthma. So it's very hard for me to breathe. I have really bad allergies, but yet I managed to work. I managed to get up and say, you know what? I'm not letting that stop me. Everybody is different. Anybody who has a disability handles their disability different. So this is me, and that's how I take care of me. So I bought this on sale. These were going for about $1,500, the Ashford table loan, because I wanted to keep Abyss and keep myself busy, keep my arms moving, because I can't run a marathon. I'm not about to. I can't do 20 push ups, and I'm not about to. But this compensates all that. This is like Can't do that. Let's find something that you can do that is going to keep your arms going. You're going to keep moving your feet. You're going to keep moving your legs. You're going to have to get up and move. You're going to have to get up and create your warp. You're going to have to get up and slay the reed. You're going to have to get up and do what you need to do to keep yourself abyss to your physical self, Joanne. And that's what I do. I purchased this after I seen, oh, I also had a rigid head loom. I purchased a rigid head loom before I purchased this. And after a year and a half, almost 2 years, I said, it's time for me to graduate to a um, 4 shaft loom. I wanted an 8 shaft, but I wasn't prepared for all the extra warping and all the extra tie up and all the extra. There's a lot of extra. The more heddles or shafts or harnesses you have, whether it's a counter, um, a shaft, counter balance, or a rising shed, or one of those. It's either rising or counterbalance. Like, I'm not too sure. The more difficult it gets, and then you'll have to get down on your knees. And if you have bad knees, or if you have arthritis in your knees, or you have weak legs, then you have to think about that. As much as you may want a counterbalance loom, you have to think about, oh, I have to get on my knees. I have to get down on the ground to do the tie ups, or to tie up the threadles. And then the rising shaft, that is something that it isn't hard. A rising shaft isn't hard, but still there is a lot to this just to weave on a floor loom. So as you can see, I converted the table loom to a floor loom. I don't have the 6 threadles, the 2 that would help me do tabby. I have 4. I have to work at it to do the tabby, but I don't mind. The stand did not come with the table loom. The threadles came as a kit that runs about $100. The table stand runs about $325. The table loom itself could run up to $1,200. The boat shuttles, that is something totally different, could run $45 to $50, even more, even up to $200, depending on what type of boat shuttle you want. This is your basic boat shuttle. This one cost me 49 something dollars. Yes, 49 something dollars just for this. Why did I buy that versus the shuttle? Why? Because of the simplicity of it, how easy it is for me to just shuttle on through, bolt that boat through, and it's just a lot more easier than having to warp or wrap your yarn all the way around, and then you get this big bulky yarn, and sometimes it's hard to go through the shed. There's a lot of terminology in weaving, but again, you need to start learning and absorbing. That's what I tell myself, Joanne. You need to start learning more about the terminology. I may have to go and join a weaving guild, or finding a weaving group somewhere in my area. There's a lot of them in California. There's very few of them here where I'm at. I also bought the stool. I'm sitting on the Ashford stool, which is just the perfect height. And again, that runs about $200 because it's pure. I forget what kind of wood it is. It's expensive wood, but it's going to last a lifetime. And it's just the right height you need to be at your loom, specifically when you have this stand. Because I have dining room chairs. I seem to never feel comfortable because the dining room chairs, they flare out the legs. I have an office chair that I purchased because I thought, oh, this is going to work out perfect. I could lower it, I could raise it, and it doesn't work for that. It works for sewing and for my other machines, but not this. So I invested in the stool. There are different types of stools that you could buy for a table loom. They even have some that look like benches. They even have some that have storage units on both sides. They even have some benches that have little shelf units and storage units, so you can just pick up what you need. Here's my bobbins here. I can put so you can clear you won't have so much clutter all over. This table loom, I added this shelf unit. This shelf unit does not come with the table loom. So if you see it and you say, well, look at, she has a tabletop. I made this from an old shelf unit. What do I got in here? Oh, that's what that was. Um, this was an old shelf unit. You know, the front part of the drawer. I'm sorry, not a shelf unit, a drawer. An old drawer, beautiful little kind of like night table I had that I wasn't using anymore. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just take it all apart because it was the kind that had screws on it. It was a good one, so you could unscrew it. I took all the screws. I just popped it with a mallet, and they all came apart. And I saved all the pieces, and I utilized the top front panel of the drawer. There's still the two holes where the handle used to be. This, because I removed the levers, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes, and that's where you would add your tassel, I think it's called, and that's where that went. And it was easy to move the shafts or the harnesses. They call them shafts, and then they're harnesses. So I said, you know what? It has the holes. I took my drill. See how thick this wood is? This is over an inch and a half thick. It's about an inch and 3/4 thick. So I bought some long screws. I took my drill, drilled some holes about over a half an inch, and I put some screws in the back, only two, and it is solidly in there. I bought a piece of birch wood, flat. I forget what this is called. You go to your, I forget what it's called, but it's just a flat piece of wood. And I lift it up. It's bigger than it's 2.5 inches in width. And I drilled 3 holes and set it in the front so it could be like a little shelf unit and nothing falls. I could put my bobbins, and the bobbins are another thing you have to buy if you're going to buy a bolt shuttle. I also have a different type of bolt shuttle because I was going to buy a different loom. I was going to buy the floor looms that have, I forget what it's called, the riser. Is it a riser? Where they have a little, it's like a little mini shelf on your beater, like so, like that. So you have your beater, and then you're able to shuttle your bolt shuttle across. But then that is very expensive. Like I said, that was what I wanted at first. I really said I want to get one of those. The beater doesn't go this way. The beater is actually level to the ground. This one has the high beater that's got the shaft, the mechanism above here, whereas a lot of the different looms have the beater on the back. So when it lays back, it is tilted this way, like so. It's down there, and that is a lot easier and a lot better because you get a wider shaft, and you're not constantly having the beater overhead. So you have to buy what you can afford, and this is what I bought, even though it was expensive. If I wanted the one that I was just explaining, like there's a baby wolf, forget the company. This company, I hope you can see that. They have the baby wolf, and those run about, like I said, this ran $1,100. I got it on, I told you, I got it on sale for $990. I believe $999 or $990. And I said, you know what, I'm getting that because I was gonna purchase the Erica Louette loom from the Louette company, and that at that time that Louette was running around $650, and I purchased it, and then I got an email from the company saying that the Louette company saying that they're so much in supply and demand, and that's because of the COVID just came out, that they won't be able to have it out for the next 3 months. I said 3 months of waiting, and they had this one or plenty of them in stock. So I kept debating with myself, should I cancel the order, take the money, save it, and then later buy this? So since it's the same, no, it was from the Ash. I don't know which company it was. I believe it was the Woolery. That's where I bought it, the Woolery. I called the company and said, I want to cancel the order. And they said, why? I said, because it's going to take 3 months for the Erica Louette to arrive. I got a text today, and they said it's going to take a long time, and they don't know even then if they would have them. And she says, oh, yes, that's right. We apologize. We can give you a refund. We can put your credit back on your credit card. And I said, you know what? Can I ask a question? And she says, sure, go ahead. I said, you have the Ashford table on sale right now for $990 or $999. I said, how can I apply that 600 and something, apply it to that, and then pay you the remaining balance within a month or a month and a half? And she says, oh, I don't know if we can do that. Normally we just put your money back on your credit card. I said, is there anyone you can ask, a manager, or your supervisor above you, or somebody in the credit department? This way, you still have me as a customer, you still have my money, and you're guaranteed that I'm going to pay for it, like I said, within a month or two. So she put me on hold. She got back with me, and she says, we can do it. We can do that for you. So, but you have to keep your word, your end in it. And I said, of course I would. So it took me 2 months, actually a month and a half, and I paid it. And I know they were happy. I was happy. And when it was shipped out immediately. Once I paid it, it was on its way. And I was so excited. And then I said, when it arrived, I put it together myself, and I was extremely happy. And then I said to myself, now I was used to doing my weaving on a Ashford heddle loom, which is different, extremely different than warping on a table loom. So when I went to YouTube and I started watching the Ashford videos, their company, I said, oh my God, I gotta do, excuse me, I didn't mean to say that. I said, oh, goodness sake, I have to put this all together like that. And I have to do this. I said to myself, Joanne, what did you get yourself into? What did you just buy? And but I challenged myself. I went ahead and challenged myself. Um, I started warping on my dining room chairs. I placed the warp on two different dining room chairs. I created the cross, and I created about maybe less than 2 yards just to do a little project, to do something to see how it was working, because I could always take it apart. And if it was going to be too hard for me, I asked them, can I get a reef? Can I bring it back? I did mention that to them. I said, can you place that in the notes somewhere? I want to see how this is going to work because I'm so used to the rigid heddle loom, but I want to put my hands onto this and see. She says, of course, you could, just as long as you save all the packaging and you bring it back X amount of days. So I went ahead and I did the warp on the two different chairs in my dining room. I did everything that I was looking at the videos on how you thread it and how you wind it up and how you slay the reed and how you thread everything. There's a lot of excellent videos out there, by the way, and how you tie up in the front and how you wind up. And then I was ready to start doing it. Within a couple of hours, I was just whoa, whoa, whoa. And I was so excited. I said, I can do it. I can do it. And that was just learning basic tabby weave that I already knew how to do on a rigid heddle loom, but it was done differently on a four shaft loom. So I called them up, says I'm going to keep it, and I want to thank you for being so patient with me. I got to know the people really really good. I said now I'm calling because I want to order the boat shuttle, the bobbins, and the bobbin winders. They were extremely happy because see now they have a customer because they listened to me and they they were so compassionate that it just really blew me away. So I bought yarn. I bought the boat shuttles. I also have my what do they call this? Because I was using a drill. I also bought that too. I bought the winder for you place your bobbins in. And if you didn't know, you can place that bobbin winder right on the side of the table, so you don't have to get up. Because I used to place it on the door, or I would have it on my dining room table. But it's right here. I'll show you again. I'll turn my. It's right here, and I can wind up my bobbins. And let's see. I'll take this out just to show you. See, I got plenty of room for the bobbin. So if you didn't know, I'm just letting you know you can place that winder right next to you. I try to make it as simplicity is what I'm trying to say, as easy as possible for me. So I don't make a lot of trips going back and forth, back and forth. And this table has two beautiful little shelves too. I love that. I put a little hook here, a little hook, so I can put my scissors close by me. I made this little pouch, and my scissors are right there. So I try to make it as simple as possible for me. I also bought a True Light. This is a 10 dent reed. I also bought a True Light. I don't know if you can see it, but it's over here. So, because you need a lot of good lighting, you don't want to stress your eyes. They came with two big giant pegs, like a whole inch pegs, rubber pegs in the back. I removed them, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I noticed that when I removed them, I had a little teeny bit more of a shaft. Because with the inch of the wood hitting right here, and it was like this. And if you were to open up your shed, not shaft, your shed, I didn't have very much clearance. It would stop right there. And that's a very small shaft. So when I removed those two, look at how much more I have. And to me, that meant a lot. It's making noise, but I usually always stop it just before I get there. See, you could stop it before it gets there. So now that I gave you a nice intro into this machine, putting it together yourself, I think makes it more educational. You will know exactly what all the parts are, versus somebody else doing it for you and you waiting for them to do it. If you were to do it yourself, you would know, oh, so that's what that's called. That's a butterfly nut. Oh, this is what that's called, or this is what this is called, or this is what this is called. Oh, when you read the book, it's like, oh, I know. Okay, cock pins, this, that, Tesla, everything. You have to, you learn, and then you put it together. I can take this whole thing apart and put it back together again. The other thing about it, the simplicity is you could take it down. You remove the cock pins on the bottom of your threadles. You loosen up the side, unscrew those, and then pick up the capsule, fold it up, and then you could take it anywhere. It folds up nice and neatly, and you could take it to a retreat. You could take it to your community center, or you could take it from room to room, wherever you feel comfortable. You can also store it. You place it in your wherever you store your things. The stand also comes apart real simply, folds away nice and flat. I have room for it on the side of my dining room table that I covered up. You wouldn't even know it was there unless I told you. So now that we spent 56 minutes on the ins and outs, I'm going to do a very small, brief video on how to start the double cloth, which is also called double weave blanket. Again, this is the blanket. You see how I can put my hand all the way through here? Let me get my lift stick, pickup stick. See how I can put this all the way through? When I open it up, it is 14 inches in width. So there's 28 inches once I unfold it. This is a good way to learn how to make your own material. This is all baby fine yarn. This is for a baby. Imagine getting some 100% cotton 4-ply or 100% cotton 2-ply, or buying linen cotton, the real fine linen cotton, and making yourself a beautiful material where you can cut it and make yourself a jacket. Next year, I'm going to buy some really good yarn so I can make myself a tweed jacket, a tweed outfit, literally a whole suit. I think that would be awesome. So the pattern for double weave is very, very, to me, now that I know how to do it, I can do this without even having my pattern next to me. This is how you pick up your where your foot will be placed on top of each threadle. When you start, your foot will go on threadle 1. Your foot will go my foot, because it's on. I say 1 to the left. Everybody might be different. Maybe your 1 is to the right, but I call my threadle 1, 2, and 3. Left is 1, and then 2 and 3 and 4 is my right foot. I used to try to do my right foot 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know why I got confused. So I noticed that when I would do the left foot, I can always remember that's 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So 1, your foot would, my left foot would be on threadle 1. Then my right foot would be on threadle 3 and 4. You lower those down. You go from right to left and shuttle through. Then when you're coming back left to right, you would place your foot on threadle 1, threadle 2, and then your other foot would be on threadle 3. You lower those down. Shuttle your shuttle or your bolt shuttle from to left to right. Then you're going to do the fold on the top, which would be threadle 3, and that is from right to left. And then you would place your foot on threadle 1, and that's from left to right. And it's a repetitive over and over and over and over again. Depends on how long your yardage is and how long you're going to make it and how wide your is. Like I said, I've already made a blanket this wide, and that's 26 inches, but I stay at 24. That's 48 inches of cloth. You know, you can make curtains, you can make a bedspread, you can make yourself clothing. I've already made myself a vest, I made somebody else a coat, and it would turn out beautifully. So I'm going to take my, even though I know this by heart, I'm going to place this up here. You're going to need a tape measure because you want to know how much inches you've already accumulated. I've already told you, let's see, 46 plus 10. I've already got 56 inches that I've already created in length. Keep that in mind. It's 14 inches in width. So 14 and 14 is what? 28 inches wide once it's done. So we're at an hour, and let's get to weaving. So I'm going to push my camera back a little bit. If you notice, I have a mirror, a huge antique mirror in the background. Why am I sitting next to this huge mirror? There's a reason for my thought. Let me turn my stool, my bench stool around, so my stool, and get comfortable. I'm going to place my loom in front of me. This is my dining room table. It just happens to match the same color, which is amazing. Okay. When I say number 1, 2, 3, or 4, remember I am placing my feet or my foot on top of the threadles. Okay. I'm going to scooch my get comfortable. And this may take 10, 15 minutes, maybe a half an hour. Okay, let me get my sweater because I want to keep nice and warm. So right now I am using my white baby yarn. It's all, some of it is 2-ply, some of it is 4-ply. I'm going to place my reading glasses on. So I'm also using a pickup stick. I bought this I have 4 shuttles, which I rarely use. I have tried very hard to use this on here, and it just seems like it just gets cumbersome. But I did buy a pickup stick because it's really important, because when you're creating your double cloth weave, you don't want to accidentally pick up a yarn and not know it, and you're just shuttling on by, bloom, bloom, and you're saying, oh, everything's good, and then when you try to get your hand in it, it's going to get stuck. So for me, being careful is really important. So my blanket will come out beautiful. So I finished shuttling from right to left on 1. So let's just say we have our tie-ups here, and we just tied it up. And now we are ready to start the double weave. So my foot is going on threadle 1. You notice that the harness is moving up and down. My right foot is going to be placed on top of threadle 2 and 3. Here's 2 and here's 3. Harness 4 is still up. 2, 3. So I'm placing both of my feet. Now all those harnesses are up except for 2. So I'm going to take my pickup stick so I can see. I'm looking at the mirror over here, making sure that I'm going right through and I'm not picking any threads whatsoever. First of all, you don't want any floaters. Floaters are those long threads you get by an accident, by skipping or picking up or adding your shuttle in wrong, or your bolt shuttle. So now I've got my pickup stick inside. I'm going to show you the shed. You see the shed? And let me go pick up a couple of shuttles, and I want to show you something on how the fold looks. Let me go back over here. I'll just get this one here. Okay. Okay, so I've got my pickup stick on the bottom layer of the fold. Now I'm going to pick up my foot and place it on one. And I'm going to insert my shuttle through, and I'm going to line that up like this. Why am I doing this? Because I'm showing you the shed and the fold that's opened. This is open. This first shuttle or pickup stick shows you the bottom layer and the top layer of that fold. This second shuttle is showing you the bottom layer and the top layer of the top fold. So when I say shed, I'm talking about the insert where you're going to be inserting your shuttle or your boat shuttle. So I'm going to remove this one, put that away, leave that second one, the very bottom on them. I'm on the bottom fold. Let go of my foot from the thread of one and replace it and place my foot on 3 and 4. Okay, so I see that I have nice clearance, and I'm gonna pull up my sleeves. I normally have just sleeves. I don't like to have anything on because then you might accidentally pull something or something. So now I have my boat shuttle ready. Now I can place my boat shuttle on top of my pickup stick. It becomes a riser instantly. I can shuttle that really smoothly. Place it to the side. You see, this is the end of the thread where I just added. See that? Where I'm waving? I'm going to slowly pick that through. And when it gets to the very end of that wefting thread, warp thread, because we're wefting as we go in and out, I'm going to pinch this end. But before I pinch this end, I want to remove my pickup stick. I'm going to pinch that really, really tight. I'm going to remove my foot from threadle 4. The shaft immediately goes down. And now my left foot is going to go on threadle 1 and 2. See, 1 and 2. They're both rising. They're both being lifted. I'm going to prepare my beater. And I'm going to get the pickup stick again. And I'm going to insert it, making sure I pick up no threads. Uh-oh, I see it. I'm doing it wrong. So again, oops, remove it and go back. There we go. There. And I'm looking, and I'm looking in my mirror. Now I'm going to get my boat shuttle, place it on top of my pickup stick, and slide that through. Remove the pickup stick. Find that yarn. Again, you see where it's at on my left hand. I'm going to pinch that fold right here, right at the end, and I'm going to gently touch that warp thread yarn. I'm going to let go of threadle 1 and 2. My foot is now on the floor, and my foot is only on 3. You see the harness? I'm moving that shaft. Now I'm going to bring my beater and beat. Now, the next thing I do, I don't need my pickup stick anymore. I'm just going to insert my bolt shuttle through. Again, I'm constantly pinching on each end. I'm going to place my foot on threadle 1, let go of threadle 3, and beat. I'm prepared for the next weft. So I'm going to place my boat shuttle through the weft, the shed. I'm wefting the thread through the shed. Okay, the inside is called the shed. Now I'm going to pinch again, and then it's a repeat. I'm starting all lower again. 1, 3, 4. Remember what I say when I'm going to call numbers out? 1, 3, 4 is threadle 1, 3, and 4. I'm going to beat that down. And what I'm doing is preparing for the next row. My pickup stick, insert my pickup stick, pull it down. I'm clear and free. Insert my boat shuttle. I'm on top of it on the pickup stick. Prepare the next move. 1, 2, 3. Pickup stick. Now, if my reed beater had that riser, I wouldn't be doing this. I would just, and it'll go right through. But because I have to see what I'm doing, I don't want to make any mistakes. I don't want to pick up any extra threads, have any floaters. This is not a floating pattern. Let go of 1 and 2. I have 3 prepared. 3, I don't need it because it's right on top. I can see it clearly. Pinch, pinch, pinch. I'm on threadle 1 and sliding through. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Starting all over again. 1, 3, 4. Pickup stick. Oh, look what I did. See? That's why I look at that mirror and see what I'm doing. Because this is baby fine wool. I can't see this through all the layers. Okay. And pinch, pinch, pinch. Let go of 4. 1, 2, 3. Pickup stick. Push it down. Remove pickup stick. Hold yarn. Go into that fold. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Gently touch that. Let go of 1 and 2. I'm on 3. 3 and 1 are the easiest because you can see the top layer very, very well. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Preparing for 1. Beat. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Pull. 1, 2, 3. I'm preparing for the next weft, or next for the double cloth weave. Oops. Removing my pick stick. 1, 2, 3. I'd rather do it this way than I said to make a mistake. And through. Remove. Find your thread. Pinch, pinch, pinch. 3. What am I doing wrong? There goes 3. 1. 3, 4. Okay, so I have my white thread. I'm going to move my measuring take over. I'm measuring this white line here, and I have exactly 2 inches, and that's what I wanted. So I'm going to take my thread, remove my foot from 3 and 4, pull it right about here. Actually, I want to go in the middle. Find my scissors, cut my thread off. Let me put that there for right now. I could have finished the rest of that white thread, but I'm going to wait for that. Okay. And now I want to start adding the turquoise blue. Insert that like that. Let's see. Okay. Insert that. Everybody does this different. Okay. Everybody does it different. This is how I do it. Okay, I'm ready to start all over again. Insert my picket stick. It's a little more time consuming, but that's the way I do it. That's the way I like it. Now I'm going to get my mirror. I'm going to do the check. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm checking. There is the pattern down there. I have no floaters whatsoever. That means I'm doing really good with the little method that I use. It's beautiful down there. Okay. Because, let's see, where's my boat shuttle? Because this boat shuttle is big, it doesn't quite fit here. And I don't want to stretch out my yarn. It's at a really good tension. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up, loosen up this cog then, go to the front back, and I'm going to move it forward. Oh, you can see from here. Okay. I'm going to go all the way over here, loosen this cog pin. I don't know what I forgot. And I'm placing that and tightening that up. Nice and tight. And then another thing you have to do, you have to do your own work. I don't have anybody helping me with this. So it's nice and tight. Tensions really work well. So now I can go back. I'm already on this side. That I already did 1, 3, and 4. Now I can let go of 4, and it's 1, 2, 3. Pick up stick, and you want to make very careful that you want to say keep the same. Look at that, I made a boo boo. You want to make sure that you keep your width the same. You don't want to get an hourglass. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Let go of 1, 2, and now I'm at 3. Pinch, 1. One, 3, 4. Pick up stick. I push it down. Shuttle that bolt through. Remove my pickup stick. Keeping an eye on my yarn. Pinch. 1, 2, 3. Pickup stick. Shuttle. Pinch. 3, beat, get through the shell, pinch, 1, 1, 2, 3, and it's a repetitive. You want to check your fold. Let me get this through. Hold on. Oh. If for some reason the pickup stick does not go through or it gets stuck somewhere, that means you made a mistake. So it's really pertinent that you check under your, what am I saying? You check under there. Oh, I thought I made a mistake. Nope, everything looks good. I thought I had a floater. No, that was when I changed the color of the thread, yarn, not the thread, the yarn. And that's how you do your double cloth weave. I'm going to trim off these yarns. Place it in the garbage. And this is looking so pretty. And if you're wondering, if you see like you're looking at it, it says, but that looks a tiny bit loose. Yes, it is a tiny bit loose. Why? Because it's a baby blanket. You don't want these so tight. I don't like to put when I'm making baby blankets, I don't like this so tight that it's going to be tight. You know what I mean? Look how soft that looks. It is so soft. It is so pliable. When I open up the side, I'm not going to have that line like you usually get. You usually get a line. You don't need salvages at the end either. Some books say yes, but it's up to you. Salvages, you can put a salvage edge, but then are you thinking about the bottom one? You can't put a salvage edge on 2 ends. And here, it's really gonna, when you remove them, you're gonna have a gap anyway. So I decided I'm not placing any salvages on either end. And if I were to open this up, let me loosen that up. Let me put my hand in there. When I open this up, I don't know if you could see that from here, but you don't see that line. You know, when you have those, like in some of them, they want you to go over one thread and you have to go back and turn it. I did that in a lot of blankets before, and then I had this huge line. This does not have a line. Look how soft that looks. I don't know if you can see that. But I'm going to be able to get my steam iron, put a linen cloth over there, and steam that. And you're not even going to notice that there was nothing there. Let me fix that back up. And look how nice and soft and loose that feels. It is absolutely beautiful. This would be a beautiful shawl, but it's a baby blanket. Okay, push that back. Okay, I locked up the, make sure I have it back the way it was. And let's see. I had it. I lost where I had it. Okay. Oh, another thing. Here's a tip. So I know where my 23 inches ended up. This is the second 23 inches. This is total 46 inches. I have just a piece of yarn as a tag, I guess, or a marker. So I know this is where I ended up, that I have 46 inches. And I just moved this one. So you're saying, oh no, I made a mistake. I lost where I was at. No, you didn't. Because here is your marker. Find number 1. Here's number 1 inch. Start right there, get my marker, go around, holding that tight, let go. I've already have 10 inches because I haven't really gone very far. So I can do that again, go around. Yep, 10 inches. So I know I'm at 10 inches. So I'm going to get my clip. Some people put pins. I used to put pins, but then I was always injuring myself. So I don't put pins anymore. Now I'm going to tighten this up. I hold one end, and then my other hand is on top. So I'm pulling it, and it doesn't go any further. That's it. Now I'm going to take my clip, place it at the end. Let's see. Oh, I'm actually at 11. Sorry. I'm starting 11. Okay. Because you turn it the other way. And now I'm ready to start. 1, 3. And I have another mirror. This mirror, did I show you it already? So I can look underneath. I also have that against a little metal container. See this metal? Whatever you have, I have it right here set. And now I have a view of this side of my shed. And then on the mirror over here on this end, I could look over there and I know where my shed is at. And that's how you create a double cloth weave. And I can't wait to have that almost finished. I used to use the cardboard lead sticks. I already know where I'm at. I used to have my cardboard lead sticks in the back. I no longer use that. I just use paper bags. So when I leave the grocery store, they always ask you paper or plastic. And because the plastic is so bad, I say paper. Just please give me paper, because the paper is what really helps me keep a really tight for your warp. I just fell in love with it. It really makes a huge difference when you're creating your weave. I had used a cardboard for years, and I always had a problem with my tension. So I was looking at this lady called Jane Jane Stafford, and I'm going to take one of her classes. I've been contemplating on taking one of her classes for years. And next year, she's starting 8 seasons of 4 shafts and 8 shafts. And it's going to be a little costly, but she's going to be online. You're going to be able to take this course over. I mean, you'll be able to watch it over and over again. And that's what I want. I want to be able to look at a video, slow it down, speed it up, and be able to understand. And that's another person that I learned from. I also learned from Kelly Casanova. She is another teacher of weaving. And other people that I watch, I forget what his name is, but there's a man who's always weaving, Cunningham or Cunning something. And he's another person that I've watched, because he has he has an 8 shaft table loom, and he hasn't converted it to he didn't buy the kit. He just uses the levers. And I also learned from him. So those 3 people, because I've watched a lot of videos, those three people, I really love it, because they really get into showing you step by step on how they do it. They have the drafting paper. They stop and they explain where you should tie up, where you should place your threads and the heddles, and how you should have your feet and where you should put your feet, what books to buy, what books they're reading. And that's what got me into weaving, is because I'm getting good teachers. So that's really important. Not that I'm a teacher. I am not a teacher at all. I'm just somebody who learned. I'm somebody who has lots of severe disabilities. I'm somebody who is just showing you that it takes a lot of patience. I'm not going to lie to you. Oh no, no, no. It's a lot of moving around. If your body can stand it, if you're able to, even if you can do it for 5, 10 minutes a day, you will find such joy. It is so much joy. I can't explain to you how much joy I get out of doing this. It is something that I've been. Hold on. I'm on my way. Just give me a moment. Hi, Tilly. I don't know, baby girl. Just get out the way. Hello. Tilly. Oh, it's our favorite lady. Come back.
How are you?
Come on in, come on in.
How are you doing, Brandon?
Well, God bless you for asking. Look who's
Hi,
there.
Tilly. Are you going for a ride?
Yeah.
So next week is the double delivery.
Oh, because of the holidays.
Yes. And then the following, yeah.
I don't have my glasses on right now, so
Oh, that's okay. It's just a little reminder.
reading glasses.
And then I think, so you'll have a new driver. I'm not sure who yet, but I'm not sure what
So
time.
you're not coming back after that?
No, I mean, if it doesn't work out at my new job, they'll probably hire me back, but.
Let me get you your Christmas present.
Oh, you're so
I'm
sweet.
gonna cry. That's why I said, if I
Aw.
give you another piece of me, so I'll be right back. It's in the closet.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I got my camera. I'm recording. We're live on YouTube right now.
Are we? Oh,
I
fun.
got my weaving. I'm making a baby blanket for my nephew.
Oh, very cool.
That baby that was born.
Aw, you're so crafty. I love it. Hi, Tilly baby. Hi.
Pardon me, honey. I didn't make it take so long. But I folded and I put everything in the box.
Aw.
I hope. You have a baby too, but he's probably big by now. This is
Oh,
for you.
beautiful. Thank you. Oh, I love it.
When you get home and you're tired and you're not relaxed.
Yes. Oh, that's beautiful. You handmade that.
I made that on my sewing machine.
Wow.
And then this is you hubby and
You are
cuddle.
so crafty and
Aw.
talented. I love it.
And you know, this is called pineapple quilt. And these are all the little scraps that I saved from other quilts or, you know, things that I bought.
Yeah.
I bought blouses that don't fit me. That
Yeah. Oh, and then you
I
recycle
don't
them.
want to go back to the store and say, give me
Yeah.
a refund. I just think of myself.
I love it. It's so pretty. And you have my email.
Yes.
I want to, you know what I was thinking that you could do is like it's kind of like quilting, but it's like those like European, like sitting
Lap
pillows. No, those pillows.
Oh,
those
I know
really
which
with like
ones.
the little things and the little fancy, you know.
Like the Indians.
Yes.
I
like
know
World
what
Market,
you're
they have
talking
those.
about.
And then like those cute little like keychain or little ornaments. They're like little felt, you know, with like
Uh-huh.
felt and sequins. Like I would buy 20 of those and then I would just go sell them. But I would buy them from like wholesale them from you. You know what I mean? Or something like that. So we'll be in touch.
I don't know where she disappeared. I'm not ready to run down the hall.
Right? Little stinker. So
You have a
oh,
wonderful
thank
place.
you. Thank you. I love this.
You see the other stuff I do? You don't see that?
You didn't see this? Yes. My eyes aren't that good. Oh, those are
See?
that is
You know what this is gonna be?
well that's like it's more of those pillows. That's what that reminds me of.
But you know what else? So I'm gonna do what's I have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
that I thought material is gonna make me, you know, they're all gonna go out and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It-
Or even crushed velvet like pillows are
Yes,
really good.
exactly.
Yes.
On one side it'll be velvet or crushed velvet, and
Mhm.
the other side will have this, and it'll be just like a what do they call it?
Boho.
There you go.
Yes, see, I
know
love
you know about boho too.
Yes, I love that.
I made a boho jacket. My daughter fell in love with it, so I gave it to her. You know, just recycling and upcycling something new didn't fit. The
Yeah.
pants were too tight. I didn't want to go
I
back.
love. So you have a YouTube channel and people follow you. I love that.
Say
It's
hello
so-
to everybody.
Hi,
Go over
everybody.
there and say hi. This is my best friend. She helps me a lot. Let's get over here. Beep, beep. This is my best friend right here. Come to visit me and bring me some food. God bless her for that.
She is so talented.
Oh,
you
I'm
guys.
gonna cry. She's gonna stop driving and there's my alarm.
Okay, my dear. Well,
Did
definitely.
she leave? No, she opened the door and left.
She's helping. She was helping with the little things. But definitely keep in touch, okay? Yes, I will. I will. Thank you so much.
No, no.
Bye.
See you soon. Oh. Like I said, I don't go out because of my disability, so she goes shopping for me, and she delivers food. She volunteers at the Meals on Wheels, and she's been here bringing me food for over, oh God, I think it's 7 years now. And it's unfortunately, everybody got a pay raise, and they gave her a 50 cents pay raise, and the guys got almost $2 pay raise. And she was like, how come the guys are getting paid more than me? And this has been going on for years. And she said, you know what? I'm ready to go do something else. And if it doesn't work out, I'll just see if they hire me. They'll hire her back because she works there, and then she volunteers driving. She's a go-getter. She's a very dear heart. And I also, like I said, I sew, and I made a quilting blanket for her. I wanted to cry because she's such a sweet person. I made her a pineapple quilt, and I was going to give it to her for Christmas, but then she told me she was leaving, so I hurried up and finished it. So I said, this is what I made. So it was all handmade. I have a video on how I put the pineapple quilt together. So I'm going to stop for right now, only because the leg that's crooked, my scoliosis is acting up. So another thing you need to do is take breaks. So it's time for me to take a break. I'm gonna go have some tea. And if you're there, or if you watch this video later, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, comment, let me know if there's something that I left out, and I'll try to research it and find out what I did wrong. If you have tips, share them. I love to hear your ideas. My cat's all over the place. So, like I said, this leg is getting a spasm really bad right now. So that means it's time for me to get up and move around a little bit. So I love you all. God bless. And thank you for joining me again. My name is Joanne. I have several, what do they call this, playlists? I love to listen to music. That's the most important thing that I love. I love music. So I'm either listening to classical music or whatever other kind of music is out there. So again, thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful Monday. God bless y'all. Love you. Let me get my glasses. Yes, we're going to end that. And hope I didn't